Hey guys, it's C. Porter here. I'd like to tell you guys about something I've been working on over the last couple of months. Well, as you guys have known, aside from a couple videos here and there, I've just been gone since like January, not been posting anything. Well, the reason behind that is really goes back to about December. Well, actually goes back even further. I guess where it starts is whenever I made the Sunshine Records documentary on YouTube back in 2023. Ever since then, I realized, okay, 2025 is going to be the 100th anniversary of these 1925 recordings. I really should get with my local history communities there to make sure that they do something for it. After all, these were the first recordings ever made in the history of Florida that we can verify, at least. Not that I think any have actually come out saying that they've been earlier before either. This is such an obscure, forgotten to history subject. And so over the years, I've tried a lot to get in contact with them, but the ones that we have down here don't exactly make it the easiest thing to do. And the few times that I was able to, they just wouldn't really get it. Like, okay, the records, so what? And I guess, off script, I'm not always the best at explaining things either, but so eventually what ended up happening was that in late 2024, I started getting very serious with it. Around December of 24 into early January of 25, I was consistently like going over whenever I could get in the area of the local history museum. I would, get like cards for contacting people. I would get the phone numbers and otherwise and start calling and calling and calling, hoping to get through to somebody. Nobody would ever pick up. Eventually, so, it's early January. The records were made around like January 14th up through I think January 23rd off the top of my head of 1925. So because of that, we're literally starting into the 100th anniversary of this stuff. I decide, screw this, nothing else is working. I'm just gonna literally show up on their doorsteps in business hours and basically make sure that these people, are able to stare me in the face and just see that I'm actually, trying to tell these people, you're about to miss this amazing historical event that happened here 100 years ago, the first time literally in recording and sound recording history that the state of Florida has had any involvement in it whatsoever. And people start listening and they're like, hey, give me a link to the documentary, other stuff like that. Give me the dates and all. We'll put something up. And so I do, and within like a week's time, before stuff's over, they end up making a large Facebook post about it. And what ended up happening is tons upon tons of people ended up seeing the documentary I made. And this one local radio station I'd never heard of before called Sunshine 96.7 ended up seeing this, and they're like, oh, well, this is actually amazing. And if we would have heard about this back beforehand, we would have done something in advance of it. And then they contact me, and they're like, hey, can we put your video up on the air, like on our station, in celebration of this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But could I instead, like, just rework it some so that I could actually be able to credit the people like that helped me make it better? Because it's a video, not audio. So, like, redo that as well as let people be able to hear the music all together instead of little segments of it like that is just sparse throughout this 45-minute long documentary. And they're like, yeah, sure, that's great. So I ended up just making the documentary into a radio documentary, just completely recreating it, letting everybody hear everything with the music and all, giving my friends that help with narration or otherwise, giving them credit vocally and all too. And, because of it, they're like, this is great. I put it over the air, and a lot of people like it, and it was a pretty big success. A lot of people liked it, and you can listen anytime you want. I made a post about it whenever it was happening, whenever it was over the air. They put the entire broadcast up, they archived it. Because of this and other ideas I had for making my own podcast on YouTube here since about late in the year, where I just wanted to compile all the stuff that I've learned that nobody ever talks about through writing the Will Osborne book, like stuff from the industry, the music industry back in the day, or different people that everybody's forgotten about, or other factors that are just really cool. I was going to end up doing that. So with this new opportunity here, it's like, well, why don't I just make it a radio show here? And so I did. And I'm happy to say that after months of working on stuff, the first episode of the show, called Danceband Days, is going to be up on Memorial Day on May 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In this first episode, and a lot of episodes to come, you're going to end up hearing a lot of just local music industry stuff from back in the Danceband days, the Tampa Bay region. This region including St. Petersburg, where I'm based, Tampa itself, Clearwater, Bradenton, and other different towns across the bay itself. Because as I've learned over the years, we had a ton of stuff going on. We had tons of different bands that were down here, like Earl Gresh's orchestra, Blue Steel, Rudy Bundy was here, Dean Hudson, plenty of names to go around, and a lot of folks that ended up just playing engagements here all the time over this area, including a couple radio broadcasts too. This show will not just feature the music of it, but will also give a lot of context and tell the story of how this stuff happened too. And in the end, I'm hoping that this will become a regular occurrence over 96.7 FM. I'm very excited to have this whole thing come about, and I hope you guys are as well. Because of the nature of this stuff being including stuff from the 1920s up through the early 1950s during those dance band days, this station has, okay, you can archive stuff as long as it's public domain stuff, but as for licensed recordings, they don't exactly have those licenses there for that, so there's a large chance that they won't be able to archive this stuff as well. So after each of these go up on air, I'm going to end up putting these up on my channel afterwards. And this isn't just going to be me with transfers of my own records, but this is also something I'm opening up to the community at large. I got stuff from Bob Moak's channels, Will Adams, a trip down memory lane, and several other different things that's going to be featured in here. Over time, if anybody else wants to open up their libraries for stuff that they have that I could use in future shows, please let me know and I will absolutely give you credit during this too. I mean, what kind of 78er doesn't want to have the brag of saying, hey, I've had some of my 78s played over the airwaves? But as for now, I think that's about it. I can't wait for you all to hear this. This is something I've been working on for a while, and I'm glad that it's finally coming together. The show, again, will be on a radio station called Sunshine 96.7 FM. If you guys can't hear it, which I'm sure that's the majority of you, there's an online link to it that I'll put in the description too. The first episode will be on the air at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over Sunshine 96.7 FM on Memorial Day, May the 26th of 2025. I hope you all can tune in for it, and if you can't, you're going to end up hearing it on a YouTube video at a later date. Other than that, I can't think of really anything else to say. Hope y'all are doing good, and I'm going to be coming back sometime soon with more content of just 78s uploaded here soon. So that's about it. This is C. Porter. Hope you guys are doing good. I'll see y'all later.